Hi, this is Margaret. I want to help you get started on the first drawing that we're going to do, which you might want to start at the end of this week. Here we are in our Moodle course, and you have some lectures and quizzes you've gone through, and at the end of this week you'll see that there's a retaining wall drawing, and you'll see that you have instructions. That's this Word document, and you have two PDFs, so you should open or download all of those. The instructions look like this. They're a Word document, and it says here, open the commercial buildings title block, the CB title block. Let's go see where that is. It is up here at the top of your course. It's under the general course information. That's where I've put your title block because you'll use it and several other drawings in the course, so I just put it there. So open your title block and it will look like this. There's our title block for this class. Now let's look at our PDFs that we're going to use for making the drawing. And according to the instructions, let's look at the instructions. It says, create the drawing as shown on sheet L1. You might recognize that sheet numbering. We've looked at sheet numbering before. This is an outside landscapey sort of thing. I could have also used C1 for civil. So create a drawing as shown on sheet L1, and then use sheet L2 to help you draw the sizes. But you will not dimension the drawing, you'll just use those to help you with sizes. So let's look at those. Here are the PDFs. Here's L1, and this is what your retaining wall should look like when you're done. You'll notice you've got some thick lines for the wall. You have some hatching, you have some text with 2 leader lines, but no dimensions. Let's look at the other PDF. Here's sheet L2. This has dimensions that will help you draw this thing, but you will not actually dimension your drawing. You'll just make these sizes. Looking at this retaining wall, you see we have a number of things that are vertical and a number of things that are horizontal, and that is your cue that the offset command is probably going to be your new best friend for making this drawing. So let's go over to our AutoCAD title block and let's start making this drawing. So I'll go over here. Here's our title block. And of course I want to be in model space because that's where I'm going to be drawing. Now you remember last time we talked about naming layers in an architectural drawing. And here in the layers for our title block, you'll see an example of what we were talking about. Here are a number of layers for your drawings that you'll be doing, following the National CAD Standard Guidelines. For drawing this concrete wall, you'll need to pick a layer. You might think that you're going to use the wall layer, but that would not be right, in my opinion, because a wall is for architectural walls, like if you're doing a wall in a house. This is concrete stuff. I think I might go with a foundation outline. That is a continuous line. It's 0.35 thick, which is a nice object layer thickness. And I could, if I'm going to do that, I could go up to this button in the layer manager that's got the green thing on it, a check mark, and I could set current there, Or if I want to go a faster way, when I'm just in my AutoCAD window, if I drop down this list of layers, here are all the layers that I could use. And I can just pick a foundation outline right here and be ready to go. Okay, now I want to draw, let's look at our reference thing again. I want to draw a horizontal line to start from, and I think I want to draw one vertical line to start from. And looking at these sizes here, I want a line that's at least, a horizontal line that's at least 5 feet 6 long, maybe longer. And I want a vertical line that's at least 9 feet long, because that's how high the wall is, maybe longer. So that's what I'm going to start with. Now I'll go back to model space. I would like to point out down here in your I forget what you call these, but these command buttons at the bottom of the screen. Here's O-snaps. That's a real good one to have. There's another one here called Ortho. And you'll notice when I hover over Ortho, a label pops up and it tells you what the shortcut key is for Ortho. See that F8 there? That tells you that if you hit the F8 key at the top of your keyboard, that will turn Ortho on and off. Or you can just push this button down here and that will turn Ortho on or off. And what Ortho does is when you draw a line, it makes it stick, so you can only go horizontal or vertical. You can't do an angle. And I find that helpful when doing square things like this. Now let's check our O-snap settings and just make sure we have some O-snaps, some objects snaps that are the ones we're going to want. Let's see. Oh, looking good. We definitely want end point. Midpoint is not a bad idea. Perpendicular will be good. That'll be handy. And intersection, we'll need that. Yep, that's turned on. And nearest, that's kind of handy too. That lets you snap at the nearest point anywhere along a line. You could turn some others on too. You could just turn all of them on if you want. But I think I'll go with these. Okay, so my O-snaps are looking good. Now, let me just draw a line. And I have set up this title block for you so that it's using architectural units with feet and inches. And let me just start drawing a line. Now, for drawing a line, you could come up here to the ribbon up to this panel and select the line button. That works perfectly well. And by the way, if you're using AutoCAD on a Mac, this will look a little different. You'll still have the same commands. They'll just be in different places, but the icons will still look the same. So I can click on the line button here. Notice that the first letter of the word line is L, and that's your clue that if you want to, you can type L, enter, and that will start the line command. I kind of like to do that. Specify first point, it says. Okay, I'll just click, and now I'll drag over here. My ortho is on, so it's going to stick to purely horizontal. That's good. I'll just click somewhere out here in space and enter. Okie dokie. Now I would like to draw a vertical line. Looking at our drawing here, we want to allow enough space in our screen so that we can go up at least 9 feet. So, I don't know, I think I might zoom out just a little bit just to make sure I have enough room here. Okay. And now I'm going to type L for line, but you can go get the line command. See when I hover over this first line I drew, that little bow tie thing, the O-snap indicator for nearest? That's kind of useful. It lets you snap right onto a line, any place on that line. I'll just snap there somewhere. And now I'll go up. And because I have ortho on, it's just going to make me stick to vertical. And watch that dynamic cursor box that's got numbers in it next to your cursor. You want to make sure that your line is more than 9 feet high, because that's how high your retaining wall is. Okay, well that's more than 9 feet, so I'll stop there. Click Enter. Okay, now your new best friend, offset. Here is the offset command in the toolbar, and we notice that the first letter of the word offset is O. So if you're a typing sort of person, you could type O, enter. I think I will do that. Or you could just click on that command. Doesn't matter. I'm going to type O, enter. Now I've got the offset command. Now read the directions. AutoCAD is talking to you. And here it says, specify offset distance. It wants to know how far are you going to go out in space. Well, I'm going to offset, first of all, I think I'll go 5 feet 6 from that vertical line. Okay, so I'm going to enter an offset distance of 5 feet 6. 5. Now if I don't tell it foot or inch mark, it will default to inches. If I want 5 feet, I need to put a foot mark. Okay, 5 foot. Now I'll go 6. Inches is the default, so I don't have to type anything here. I just hit enter, and it will automatically do 5 foot 6. Now what's it saying? Select object to offset. Okay. It wants to know which of these two lines are you offsetting from. So I'll click the line I want to offset. And now it wants to know the side to offset. Do you want to go to the left or do you want to go to the right? So you just click somewhere out in space on whichever side you want to offset. I want to offset to the right, so I'll click out here in space. Enter. All right, now let's do a 1 foot 6 for the width at the top of the wall. I'm going to get the offset command again, or type O for offset. Specify offset distance. All right, this time I want 1 foot. Notice this time, I don't know why it does this, but this time it's putting the distance in my dynamic cursor box instead of the command line. Who knows why? So 1 foot and foot mark, and now I'll go 6 for 6 inches. Enter. Select object. Okay, this one again. Do I want to go left or right? I want to go right, so I'll click out here somewhere in space on the right side. Enter. Okay. Now, 9 feet up is the wall. Okay. So I'll go O for offset again. Now specify offset distance. This time I'll enter 9 feet. And it's 9 feet 0 inches, so if I just hit 9 feet, enter, that will be good. Select object to offset, that one, and that one. Hooray! Alrighty. Now I would like to draw a slopey line for this side of my retaining wall, so I think now I will turn off ortho. and I could go up to the keyboard and hit the F8 key.